Show. It's the Murder Master Music Show.
Yo, Fred!
It's the Murder Master Music Show.
Mac J!
It's the Murder Master Music Show.
UTFOlife.com.
It's the Murder Master Music Show. 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 Hip-hop is dead, but we don't resurrect it. You follow what mainstream says, but here it gets rejected. If you wearing tight jeans, don't expect to get respected. I'm from a time where wearing black was always on your checklist. From a time where faggots get checked if they reckless. From a time where if you got too much shine, we snatch your necklace. This real shit here, Illuminati, fuck the industry. We represent the street and they respect our street ministries. Take no shorts and cut the middleman, literally. This hip-hop savior, our birth scenes like nativity. This a place where no one sells out for relevability, and the masses can get a chance to explore more creativity. You gotta be kidding me. If you call that hip-hop, niggas with high shades and fluorescent flip-flop. We killing Big Brother, cause we know he watch. You don't like what I'm doing, then you can suck mine. And you don't Murder Master Music Show. It's the 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 Murder Master Music Show.
Episode 264, Murder Master Music Show. Bring on my co-host, Mac J.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mac?
What's up with the prayers? We creeping up there again, man.
15 episodes ago, we was at 250, somewhere around there. I mean, it's crazy. It goes by so fast. It's hard to believe we're creeping on 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So, it's phenomenal. But we've been in the Bay lately, man. We've been interviewing groups like Total Devastation. We have Ren of the Doja Click on here. We got the Loonies coming up on Wednesday. We've been interviewing all kinds of people from the Bay over the years. Big Quinn from UDI, San Quinn, of course. But tonight we got to add somebody, legendary group. I mean, first of all, just to give you an idea, the record label that he was on was Intermittent Records. You know, so I'm talking about Ad Kapone, Totally Insane. Now, Intermittent Records also housed RBL Posse, Rappin' Forte at one time, 11-5. Who else was on there? No, 11-5 was on Dog Game. I'm bad. Pooh Man, he was on there. Let's bring on Ad Kapone, man. He was Ad Kapone in the place to be. What's up, man? How you doing,
Hello.
man?
Hey, what's going on, baby?
Man.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we good. You hear us?
Yeah.
And first and
I'm
foremost,
kind of in a
you're in bad reception?
Yeah, my reception's kind of bad. Hold on, let me try to walk down, see if I can get in a better place. If I hang up, I'll call right back.
Oh, for sure.
What's going on, though?
But, well, man, we were just telling everybody, you're from the legendary group Totally Insane. You guys first came out in the early 90s, I believe. Now, you're from East Palo Alto, California, right? Where is that exactly at in the Bay Area?
I'm from East Palo Alto. It's like in between San Jose and San Francisco. It's in each direction. I mean, in the middle of San Francisco and San Jose.
Yeah. Hello. I believe you said it was in between San Jose and San Francisco. Is that what you said?
It's like in between 4 miles, 30,000 population. And our first album came out in 1991, direct from Backstreet.
And that was on Intermittent Records. Now, that was the same label, you know what I'm saying? I was talking about, put out Pooh Man and a bunch of other classic Bay Area artists. What was it like being on Intermittent Records at that time, man? Because you guys were pretty much like the No Limit of of that era. You know, matter of fact, No Limit was actually on there. Master P, that was the first label he was with. Was In a Minute.
Yeah, Master P was on records back in the day. It was us RBL, Mac Mill. I don't know if y'all remember Mac Mill back in the day.
Yeah.
Pooh Man was on there, MC Pooh.
You guys had a lot of classic artists there. Do you think Master P soaked up some of the game from In a Minute Records? Because for a minute there, it was almost like In a Minute had it on lock.
I think it's cause rock, prayer.
Yeah, no, he's still on the board. He probably, add Kapone. Can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
No. Yeah. Now I can
my
hear
phone
you.
going in. Trying to walk to there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to some music. You sent me some tracks. We're going to play some music, and then we'll come back. We'll see if we got some better reception.
Hello, can you hear me?
We'll pick it up from there. Yeah, I can hear you now. You good?
Yeah. I had to step outside. I had to come outside the building.
Okay, we got you loud and clear right now.
Okay, cool.
You found a good location. What I was saying is, Master P obviously went on to sell, millions and millions of records. Do you think he soaked up a lot of game from In a Minute? Because, In a Minute for a while was that, independent death row, no limit type label.
Yeah.
How's a lot of good acts.
Yeah, Well, I definitely think that what Master P did was he came in there and he was already, pumping his music himself on the streets. And I think what In a Minute Records gave him was it showed him like a record label blueprint, a blueprint on how to run a label. Because we all spent a lot of time up there, and In a Minute had a pretty good open door policy. You come in and, you could chill out, hang out, and we all kind of like just went up there and just seen how things was ran, seeing how the operation went. And I think Master P just soaked it up and, with the street sense he had and the little bread that he had, he just put it together and created an empire,
Yeah. He probably figured he can do the same thing, and eventually he went on and did. Describe the atmosphere like during those early days. What was it like kicking it with Pooh Man and Master P and RBL Posse? I mean, did you guys all do shows together, or what was the deal?
Oh, yeah. Back in those days, a lot of the artists, especially like from the Bay Area, a lot of the artists from out here was real close. It was like a real close community. We all supported each other. Like, for instance, when we first came out, the Click and E40 and them was just coming out at the same time, Us, the Click and RBO was coming out around the same time. And at that time, we were like, three at the top in the Bay. And our relationship was real close. Even to this day, our relationship is real close. I'm still cool with RBL. I'm still cool with 40 in the Click. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it was like a family atmosphere back then. Everybody promoted everybody. Everybody came out and represented. If E40 and them do a show, we'll all come out and support. If RBL did a show, we'll all come out and support. If we had a show, they'll all come out and support. So I think back then in the 90s in the Bay Area, it was more of a family atmosphere than anything, Everybody had love for each other. Everybody had respect for each other. Everybody was fans of each other. We all listened to each other's music. And I think it was just a little more, I'm not going to say it's more unity than now because, the game was more independent, a little more brand new. So, cats was, hustling CDs and hustling any stuff out the trunk. It wasn't a lot of downloading, so cats wasn't bootlegging and, downloading. and I guess it was more of a hustle back then, you know, more of a hustle mentality back then, you know.
Like straight grinding for real and shit.
Straight grinding for real. You know, we used to ride around every city in the Bay Area with trunks full of CDs. And wherever we seen a group of people at, we just jump out. You know, we wasn't scared about getting shot at. We wasn't scared about getting jumped. You know, we'd jump out with a handful of CDs and hand them out and, you know,
getting that
promo going. You know, I don't know. Nowadays, I don't think it's too much face-to-face or hand-to-hand, you know. Well, CDs is going out obsolete, out of style, so people ain't slinging.
Too.
Right, people ain't jicking CDs out the trunk no more. It's all about promoting and getting them to your website or getting them to your Facebook or getting them to your social media, you know, to check out the music online. Back then, we'll just hand you the product, and if you got most cats, if they were standing by their car, they'll slap it in the tape deck, and if your shit sound good, they'll bump your shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you were also on West Coast Bad Boys, the original one that Master P put out. You were on that album with the likes of Sibo, of course, JT the Bigger Figure, the Delinquents, Dre Dog. I mean, so many people, man. What was it like being featured on a compilation like that? I mean, you were already featured on many projects prior to this, but did you guys know that it was going to be that big at that time? That you were part of something that was going to be that huge?
I don't think nobody really did at the time. I think Master P just knew that he was putting together a lot of great talent. You know what I'm saying? At that time, the Bay Area had his own buzz. All the artists that was featured on there had their own fan base and had their own record sales. And I just think he came at the right time and made the right move. You know, he put together all the best from the Bay. And we knew it was going to be something. We didn't know it was going to be as big as it was. We knew it was going to be tight. We knew that people in the Bay was going to feel it. We didn't know that it was going to have the national and worldwide success that it had. That shit went gold. You know, that shit sold over 500,000 copies, you know. And shit, maybe even it might be platinum by now because that's been a while. But last time I checked, it was like 700,000, like a little bit over gold. Yeah, but we didn't. What it was back then was when he first was making the call around and telling everybody that he was trying to get everybody together to do the compilation. Everybody was in on it because they knew it was going to be tight. You know, it'd be a good move for the Bay. We didn't know that he had all the things in play, like he was negotiating to deal with Priority Records at the time, and the Ice Cream Man was about to blow up like that. So we didn't know all the moves he was making in the background. All we thought was he was just going to put together a good compilation. Now, when the shit dropped and everywhere you went, they was playing that shit, a different song off the album, it was like, wow, dog, this shit is something else, you know? Everywhere you went, they was playing a different song off the West Coast Bad Boys, you know, and it was in everybody's tape deck. You go to the mall, they playing it over the loudspeaker in the mall, at the Durant Square, at the Eastmont Mall, or, you know, Sacramento at the Florin Mall, you know. It just was kind of like, that shit just was like crazy, man, you know?
Right. Yeah, man. You know, and to think it's almost been, you know, what, 25 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, all that music has withstood the test of time. You know, like you said, direct from the back streets, 1991. 25 years later, man. That's. I mean, you guys got any plans for, you know, maybe a reunion or a tour or a re-release or anything for that?
Yeah. What happened was last year we were supposed to do a box set of our first 3 albums because that was 2015 was the 20th year anniversary for our Backstreet Life album. So we were gonna put together a box set, you know, with all the songs remastered and all that. And I don't know, we just kind of dropped the ball on it, you know. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to put it together to get it out there. But we just kind of like dropped the ball on it. So you know, so much was going on, you know, in our personal lives that we didn't have time to get back to the to do the music the way we wanted to do it, or carry out the plans that we had with the music that we had. It's just kind of like everyday life kind of made us fumble the ball on that, you know what I'm saying? But it's still in the works. I'm still working on we were working on the clothing line. I'm still working on that. Just everyday hustle,
Still doing your thing, and we got some music. We're going to give them a track right now. This is Gangsta Party. Tell everybody about this one.
Gangsta Party, that's off my first solo album, The K Word, featuring my man, the Jacka, may he rest in peace, and my man, FedEx from Mob Figures. Interesting story. Jacka had a show out in Oakland, and me and a buddy of mine went out there, and I had never met Jack before. We knew each other through Hood Stars. I know you know who Hood Stars is. Scoot and Band-Aid, my little brothers. They introduced me to Jack. Well, actually, we was at the party, and Scoot walked Jack over to me. And Jack was like, "Man, I'm a big fan of yours. I've been listening to your shit ever since Direct from the Backstreet. You know what I'm saying? I got a studio session coming up, man. I'd love for you to come in and record some shit." And I was already a big Jacka fan anyway, so I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." So went over to 17 Hertz. Make a long story short, he was in there recording a song. I think he was in there recording one of the songs off the last album he came out with. No, it's been a few years. I think he was working on Tear Gas at the time. And I came in. I had a track. I put the track on. And man, he fired up a blunt and sat there and wrote the hook out. He wrote the hook in like 5 minutes, man. It real quick. He went there, laid the hook. Came out. We sat down. We chopped it up for a minute. We wrote our verses and went in there, recorded the song. In the middle of recording the song, FedEx come in, and we was doing a playback. We had did the first two verses. We had like a last verse empty, and the engineer was doing the playback. FedEx heard the song, was like, "Man, I got to get on that shit." So that's Gangsta Party, man.
Wow. Just like that.
This all happened within a matter of days. The show was Friday night. When chopped it up with him Friday night. Tuesday night, we was recording the song.
Wow. What's like some of your most memorable moments from back when y'all first came out? Like, what was that moment when you knew, like, man, we really popping, man? Like, we really got motherfuckers listening to this shit.
Let me think. Shit, we got so many of them. Our first, I think when Direct from the Backstreet came out, we were at Cal Skate in Milpitas. We was at the skating ring in Milpitas. I don't know if y'all remember that. All the Bay Area cats, Cal Skate. Cal Skate was a big skating ring back in the days. Everybody from all over the Bay used to come down to Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, East Palo Alto. From everywhere used to come down to Milpitas to the skating ring. And one night we was out there, and we sitting around, we standing around, and a car full of girls came through. They was in like a convertible 5.0 or some shit with gold ones on it, with hella slapping they shit. And they pulled up bumping our shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that right there, it was kind of like, damn, dog, that's our shit. They playing our shit. A car full of females is bumping our shit. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of like let me know that, this, what we doing, people like what we doing. And what we doing, we doing the right thing. We got talent, and motherfuckers like what we doing,
Right, and that's cool as you said, y'all was all together, and like, the other groups around, y'all was all supporting each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't never really see none of that shit no more, you know what I'm saying? And really what you usually see is a whole lot of dick riding, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's why I'm glad, like, cats like y'all still making music, you know what I'm saying? Because we still out here ready to hear that real shit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't buying into that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always salute the cats that I grew up listening to that still continue, as we like to call it, putting up that good fight or putting out good music, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. You know what I think? What I think happened? Why the music changed? The industry wanted to water the powers that be wanted to water the industry down. They didn't want that gangster shit to keep on striving like that because that shit be giving out too much game, man. You know, that real that street knowledge, man, is too fucking powerful. You know, motherfuckers be listening to them songs and listen to that music and really be learning some real valuable shit. And a lot of the powers that be don't want motherfuckers to have that type of knowledge or that type of game because that shit opens your eyes to the, you know, the behind the scenes agenda. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Now, and I always felt that it was kind of like they knew they couldn't play y'all either. Like when y'all learned the game, you know what I'm saying? Like they can't just come to y'all and just give y'all some old wishy-washy deals and just throw y'all anything because y'all was independent anyway. So like you said, y'all used to pull up with trunks full of tapes.
Yeah, you feel me? How you gonna offer me a 360 deal when I'm making $1 million out the trunk? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
How you go try to take all my publishing? They ain't playing me on the radio any motherfucking way. So, you feel me?
You're right, and that's some crazy shit too. Like you just said, they ain't trying to play y'all shit on the radio, but they want to own y'all publishing.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. Yeah, and now with like cats from our era really got to be careful because from what I'm hearing they doing now is, you know, they doing a lot of biopic picks and a lot of radio stations are starting to add classic hip hop to their playlist formats and all that. So a lot of cats that got them old 90s classics got to start really getting on their shit because they're about to start playing a lot of that classic hip hop. You know, they're making a new category of rap called classic hip hop, which entails like from 80s to 90s to early 2000s. So a lot of cats that wasn't getting radio play back then might start getting radio play now. You know.
Yeah.
Especially with the iHeart radio and the, you know, the iHeart radio and the Pandora and all that. A lot of cats that wasn't getting played, you know, wasn't getting a lot of airtime is now starting to get heard on these platforms, you know.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you know what we are over here, we're pretty much the audio version of Murder Dog because when Murder Dog left, it left that void. You know what I mean? I wrote for them for about 15 years, and I knew there needs to be another platform. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what we do. We have that platform for artists like yourself who might not have other platforms. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to shout out Sickness too because. Just as you know, Sickness is a huge, support platform for the Bay Area, for all the West Coast, really. So, no doubt. Shout out to Sickness, you know, as well. But let's give them this song, "Gangsta Party" featuring FedEx. See, that's what I'm talking about right there, and that's the type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, the music that's needed right now. What are you working on right now, Kapone? You got an album that you get ready to put out?
Well, yeah, I'm working on an album. I'm not finished with it yet. I'm just, you know, taking my time with it, trying to put it together the right way. It's called Born to Lose, Built to Win. I'm probably going to drop it like toward the end of the year. I'm just, you know, trying to put it together, trying to get the best shit that I can, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, when you drop it, make sure we get it. We do reviews too over at UGSforLife.com, so we'll make we'll make sure to review it too. That's another thing we do. So anybody want their albums reviewed, go to UGSforLife.com. We'll take care of it. We'll either give it a review or we'll throw it in the garbage. I know we ain't throwing your shit in the garbage. You've been doing this for a quarter century. When exactly did you get in the game, and what influenced you to get in the game?
You mean when did I start rapping, or when did I put our first album come out? When I started putting music out.
When did you start rapping, and why did you start rapping? Like, who was your major influence at the time to get you rapping?
I think I really started rapping. I started doing assemblies and talent shows and stuff when I was like 10. Out where we live at in East Palo Alto, you know, they have a lot of Juneteenth festivals, a lot of talent shows. So, you know, me and Mac 10 and Chunk and other buddies that we grew up with, just started entering talent shows at like 10, 11, 12. Started rapping at school on the playground, battling each other. I think it started like in the fifth grade. We had a teacher named Miss East. She was kind of like the electives drama-like teacher, drama class teacher. She put together a lot of plays and talent shows and assemblies for the school. And one day we was on the playground battling, and a group of us in a circle, we out there battling, and everybody dropping their verses. And she just happened to walk up in the crowd and just kind of listen to what we was doing. So after the bell rang and everybody was on their way to class, she kind of pulled me over and was like, "Man, y'all got some talent, man. Y'all been doing that for a while." And we just kind of like sat down, chopped it up. So what happened was after school, she made her classroom available for us to come in and, practice our skills. She got instruments for us. She got microphones for us. And she just kind of like just helped us out, kind of like guided us, in the direction we needed to go. So for years, a couple of years after that, leading into middle school, we just kind of like did talent shows, assemblies. I didn't get introduced to the studio until like the summer of my 8th grade. I just graduated from 8th grade. I was about to go into high school. So the summer before my freshman year, my boy Doc Louie, uncle, had a studio at his house. Back then he had an 8-track. But you record. You got 4 tracks for the beat. You got 4 tracks for the verse. For the lyrics. And we just started going over there recording demos. I got introduced to the dope game about 13, 14, started grinding, getting my money. Got introduced to Music Annex, where Too Short used to do his earlier tapes, like 75 Girls and Born to Mac.
Cocaine and all that.
Raw and Uncut and X-Rated.
Where he recorded all those in the early 80s? Yeah,
Music Annex, right behind the house, right behind my house, and we didn't even know it all that time.
Holy shit!
Back then it was charging. What happened was, we went over there to go talk to the guy that run Music Annex. When we walked in the office, he had a Born to Mac gold plaque on his wall. So it was kind of like, damn, y'all fuck with Too Short? He's like, yeah, Too Short recorded his whole album over here. We was like, damn, that kind of like damn. So he went in the back, came out, and gave us like a handful of Born to Mac and 75 Girls tapes. We was like, damn. So we started recording there. We did like a few songs there. The songs that we did there didn't really manifest or go nowhere. A couple years later, we got introduced to TC out in San Francisco. A buddy of mine named Zero Larkin did the
Enhancer, right?
A couple No, Enhancer didn't come till later.
Okay.
Enhancer came a few years later. What happened was my boy knew Coog Nut. My boy Zero Lark was real good friends with Coog Nut, IMP. May he rest in peace also. And Coog Nut introduced him to TC. He recorded a few demos, brought it back to the town, let us hear him, and we started asking, damn, where you record that at? So he gave us the plug with TC. We went down, we drove down to TC's, and from the first minute we was introduced to TC, it was just kind of like it was on and popping. He played a few beats for us. We picked a few beats we liked. We rapped to him, and it was on. It was on like on and popping. We had a few members in the group, Zero Lark and MC Silk. Both of them left the group. How you doing? Both of them left the group before Direct from the Backstreet came out. The group kind of like broke up for different reasons, and the last two, the last remaining members were me and Mac 10 and TC, and my man Manny the Black, which put the money up for it. And we had an album called Crazy Shit. Well, let me rewind. My man Mike D, Neighborhood Kingpin, put the money up for us to go to the studio. He paid for the studio time. We recorded an album called Crazy Shit, and right before we was about to drop the album, Mike got murdered. He got killed in Oakland. So some cold shit. We was in the press. We did the album cover. The album was mixed, mastered, everything. It was in the press. And he got murdered, man. In summer of 91. So we went to his brother. His brother was taking over operations. He had a group called Black Dynasty. Have you ever heard of Black Dynasty out of Oakland?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Black Dynasty.
I've probably heard a track or two, but I've never bought any of their stuff. Who consisted of Black Dynasty?
Who was in the group? D Poet and Kareem and DM, and I forgot what their rap names was. But shout out to Black Dynasty. Mike's brother Chris was the executive producer of Black Dynasty. And what happened was after Mike got killed, we went over to Chris to kind of talk to him about our project. Black Dynasty was more into the poor rights teacher, public enemy type of, black consciousness type rap at that time. So
like
at that time, like the Coop or poor rights teachers or X-Clan, they was into that type of, rap, black, positive blackness. So at the time, Chris thought that their style of music might blow up bigger than our, more than our style of music. So he wasn't willing to gamble on both groups. So he chose a group and he chose Black Dynasty and kind of put us on the back burner. So what happened was a buddy of mine that, a buddy of mine that I grew up with was out there getting some money. He kind of got at us, and I told him what happened with Chris and with Mike and all that. Him and Mike was real close, and he kind of wanted to carry on what Mike left off, and out of respect for Mike, and kind of we went to go holler at Chris to get the masters for the album so we can release the album. Manny was going to pay for it to get manufactured. He wanted Manny to pay him back for what Mike had already put into it, some astronomical, crazy-ass number. So instead of paying for the album, we just scrapped it and recorded direct from the back street, which happened to pay off.
A whole new one. So that old album, was it ever released at all?
No, we never released that album. We took songs off of there, like Crazy Shit and From A to D is off of that album. I don't know if you remember those songs. Those are both of off of our second album. Crazy Shit and From A to D was both on the Crazy Shit album. But the rest of the songs we kind of scrapped.
See, that's over a quarter century. Is that stuff still out there, though? Do you have copies of this, or?
Nah, I don't have copies of that album.
Wow.
TC might have a copy of the songs or something somewhere, but we never even looked back at that album,
Yeah, somebody got to upload that shit on YouTube or something, man. Put a EP of it out or something. But man, that's history. That's history. Your roots really tie together with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you've been doing it so long, you're still making music. I commend you for the longevity and still being in this game after all this time. What keeps you in it?
Just the love of the music. Overall, more than being a recording artist, I'm a hip hop fan. I grew up a fan of this music. I remember my mom taking me remember the Fresh Fest back in the days. Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, Fat Boys, and all them.
The Fresh
Fest. My mom used to take me to those back when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, and I just got starstruck. The first legend to me, the first rapper that I looked at as a legend that said I want to be like that was LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? I went to go see him at the Oakland Coliseum perform. He came out the big ass radio, took his shirt off, the bitches were screaming, and I said, I want to do that. I want to be like LL. You feel what I'm saying? Then a few years later, NWA come out. My Uncle Pete, may he rest in peace, took me and my brother to an NWA concert, and it was just the way the crowd reacted to them, the way they, each one of them had their own little character, but they all with all the black on, with the Raider hats on, they just looked like, they just looked like, damn, I want to be a part of that, So it was just like, I've always been a fan of the music, and that's what I wanted to do, that was my passion, that was my dream, to make music,
Yeah. Hell yeah. You're still doing it. That's a huge accomplishment, I'm saying, after all these years, because a lot of guys from that era, I'm saying, they only maybe dropped an album or two, and that was it, so, it's good to know that you're still releasing music today. What's the major difference that you see with the music today versus the music of the 90s? Because to me, I'm looking at the 90s like, man, that's an untouchable, unfuckwittable era of music. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at some of the shit that's coming out today, and I can't relate to it, man. What are your thoughts?
I just think it was the time, and I think it was just the time. The things that was going on at that time was just, I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, it seemed like back then people was more fearless to say what they wanted to say. They didn't really care too much about mainstream, or they didn't give a damn about. A lot of rappers back then didn't rap for the radio. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give a damn about being on the radio and being mainstream and being pop and all that. A lot of rappers nowadays, that's what they aim for. They come out making pop songs so they can target that genre. Rappers back then didn't give a damn. They were just putting out what they felt. They was coming from the heart. They was putting out what represented them, and the crowd either liked it or loved, either hated it or loved it. Nowadays, I think cats is more gimmick rapping. It's more aimed toward the mainstream. The content of the music ain't really talking about nothing. All they talking about is flossing and having money. When back then, we was talking about the struggle, we was talking about the police, we was talking about the hood, we was talking about a little bit of everything, We was just really putting our real life and real experiences in the music. And I think that those times are different now. So the rappers nowadays, they got different topics, they got different things to talk about, I don't think they looking at life how we looked at it back then, Even like the movie, I know you've seen Straight Outta Compton. Everybody's seen Straight Outta Compton, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Watching that movie, back then, in that era, shit was real, man, Dudes was getting smoked, getting drive-bys every day, you know what I'm saying? And I think shit was a lot more volatile back then. I mean, shit is volatile now. The police is killing brothers at a high rate, and that was happening back then too. But I just think that cats was more gangster back then and wasn't scared to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're not talking about anything.
They're not talking about
you went away for a minute. You were gone for a while. You care to talk about what happened and why you were gone?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, what happened was, it ain't no secret. I come from the hood. I come from the streets, come up selling dope, doing what I had to do to survive. What happened was that carried on into my later life. I wasn't on the block no more. I wasn't out there grinding like I was doing, but I still had my hands in it. I still was making moves behind the scenes and, still trying to get my money, man. I have family to take care of and,
right.
Everybody need money. What happened was, it was a situation. I was trying to be greedy. I didn't really do my homework and my research like I should have. And I just kind of like went out of blind faith and went down to Louisville, Kentucky with some work and got popped in the airport by the DEA. Basically, it was a setup job. And I got I did 8 years. I got sentenced to 8 years in federal prison.
Damn.
Way more than what I was supposed to have got. The case that I had only carried a mandatory minimum of 5 years, but with my criminal history background, that tacked on another 3 years, and I ended up getting 8 years in the feds. I ended up doing 6 years off the 8, which is 85%, from 2001 to 2007. I've been home since then. I've been home since 2007. It's almost 10 years.
Right, about to say, glad you home. Shit.
Man, yeah. Shout out to my man Cole 187 from Above the Law. He was in there with me. Cole 187 from Above the Law was in the feds with me. Seth
really?
the Gaffler from GLP. Yeah. Hutch, Big Hutch, Cole 187 from Above the Law. Yeah, he's locked up with me.
What was it like? I mean, did you guys ever kick it about raps and stuff? Did he ever?
Oh yeah. He produced the track on my. Matter of fact, I should have sent you that track too. He said that he produced a track on my album, on my second album called what's the name of that song? I'm gonna send it to you. I'll send you the song so you can hear it.
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah!
That shit go hard. He sent me a hard ass track. But he's a good dude, man.
Right there.
Good dude, and I met him. Shit, I got in him as a fan. Like we was introduced on the yard. A mutual friend introduced us. Yeah, man, that's a Cole 187 from Above the Law. That's a Kapone totally insane. We both was kind of like, oh, for real? Oh shit. So we sat down, chopped it, and shit, man. We became real good friends, man. That's a real solid dude. Shout out to my man Seth the Gaffler from GLP. He was in the feds with me too.
Seth the Gaffler, yep, I remember him. He was in there with you too, huh?
Yeah, he was in there with me too. Seth the Gaffler, Cole 187, Chong from Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong.
You were in there with Tommy Chong?
Yeah, Tommy Chong is a cool dude, man. Shout out to Tommy Chong, man.
Yeah, I with him for selling bongs and shit on the internet.
Selling the bongs and shit on the internet. Some old bullshit.
It was fucked up what they did to that guy.
They gave his ass a year for that shit. He did a year for that shit. But he was real cool, man. He was, he was such a solid dude. Like a lot of people come in for visits and see him, or their family tell him who he is. He'll take pictures with you and everything, man.
Wow.
He was a solid dude.
Real humble, huh?
Real humble, yeah. Cheech used to come up there and visit him.
Cheech would come in there and visit him? Oh, shit.
Yeah, Cheech used to come up there.
But he was probably sneaking Chong some dope. Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit, we already had it. Me and my boy had already blew Chong. We had already blew Chong brains out before.
See, I mean, it's one thing that you're in there with Cole 187 or Seth the Gaffler, but then Tommy Chong, you know what I'm saying? That's amazing right there.
For real.
But you did your time. You got out. Did you do a lot of writing while you were in there?
Yeah, I did, man. I had tons of. What happened was I had tons of songs that I wrote, and once I got to Arkansas, they shipped me off to Arkansas to finish my time out. And once I got to Arkansas, the guards and COs in Arkansas, it seems like they have a attitude or a vendetta against cats from California. Once I got out there, they start fucking with me, man. They start, just randomly searching my locker, and they're not supposed to take your legal work. You know what I'm saying? They're not supposed to touch your legal papers and all that. I had a big legal folder that had legal work written on it, and they fucking raided my locker, took all my shit, went through all my songs. They was actually trying to send me to the hole. They said some of the lyrics on the songs I was writing was terroristic threats, and wow. They was trying to really cause a big thing about it, man. They was really trying to they threw me in the hole. They was about to take me out to they got this shit called a writ. They send you out on a writ. They'll send you back on and try to file a whole new case on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And so they was trying to say that some of the lyrics that I was writing was with terroristic threats, and I was saying shit like fuck the police, fuck the president, and shit like that. And they were trying to say that was terroristic threats, you know. And this was at the time
it's crazy.
when that shit happened. That's when Hurricane Katrina had happened. So I had, I was writing some shit about how I felt about George Bush and all that shit, and they got a hold of that, and they was, how that shit go.
Right, trying to railroad you and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Fucked with a nigga release date. I got out 70 days later than I was supposed to. 70 days after my release date. 2 months after my release date. Yeah, yeah.
1 day after your release date's too much. 70.
Yeah, and that should fucking
really
be illegal. That should fucking be illegal. If they give you a release date on paper, that should be it, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
you would think. You know what I'm saying? But
they fucked me over, man.
Ah, damn.
They fucked me over.
Not right at all. We have another radio show. We had a guy from the Innocence Project on, and he was speaking about getting people free after 20 years, 5 years, or 30 years or more in prison. Freeing them with DNA evidence and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, the injustice system is as corrupt as it gets because it's run. It's profit for as a business. You know what I'm saying? They even say Michael Jordan owns stocks in the prison industrial complex, which is fucked up.
They said from what they say, the prison industrial complex is ran by the slavery industrial complex. The same motherfuckers that own slaves, the same motherfuckers that own prisoners.
Right.
Yeah, it's no different than what they're doing to kids around the world in these slave labor camps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a different. It's for adults, and it's a different name for a different institution. Same shit, different toilet.
And I've been through the juvenile system. I've been to Glenwood and Boys Ranch, and I've been through that shit before. So I know, that shit is real, man. That shit is real as fuck. That shit is real.
You're out there. You've been through the system. You've been through the feds. You've been through the juvenile. You're literally totally insane. Where did you guys get the name Totally Insane from? Were you guys crazy little fuckers coming up? I mean, what was the deal?
Well, the name Totally Insane, we named the group Totally Insane to represent our city. At that time, 1990, 1991, 1992, we was the murder capital of the nation. Now, mind you, we only like 3 square miles and 30,000 people. And we beating out cities like Chicago and, you know what I'm saying? We beating out Chicago and L.A. in murder rates. So that was kind of like, I got the name from, I was watching a news report, and they was talking about East Palo Alto. And I don't know who the guy was. They was interviewing some scholar or some dude, some whoever dude was, and he was saying, how can you have a 3 square mile city with a under 30,000 population be the number one murder capital of the nation? That's totally insane. And I was stopped, and I watched the interview, and he said, "That's totally insane." I said, "Shit, that's the name of our fucking group, Totally Insane." I told Mac, I told TC, and they're like, "Hell yeah!" Because at first we was trying to call ourselves 10,000 Maniacs, but I think a rock and roll group already had that name.
Yeah. We
was gonna call ourselves 10,000 Maniacs, you know what I'm saying? But a rock and roll group had that name, so. We went back to the drawing board. I was at home one day watching that interview, and dude said that. And I was like, shit, that's it, Totally Insane. And I ran that shit by Mac and TC, and they was like, hell yeah. And the rest was history.
Man, that's what I'm talking about right there. You gave us a lot of history tonight, I tell you. I really appreciate you for coming on the show. I commend you for, continuing to make music, especially during these times when the industry is as fucked up as it is. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta encourage people to support the underground and support cats like yourself. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna hit him with the Kingpin remix to end the show with. But before we leave, if anybody wants to get at you for verses, or they want to buy your music, or they want to, you know what I'm saying, get you for shows, what's the best way they can get at you?
They can hit me on Twitter at Kapone. They can hit me on Facebook. Shit, I forgot my Facebook thing. Facebook, The Insane Empire. They can hit me. They can email me if they got, they can email me at theinsaneempire@yahoo.com or theinsaneempire@gmail.com. I'm trying to get my website back together. So as I'm doing that, I'll be giving you more information, and you can, once I update my shit, you can get back on the air and let everybody know what it is. But yeah, man, I'm
sure.
I'm just taking it one day at a time, bro. I haven't really been recording a lot. I got a studio at my house. I'm just kind of like collecting beats and just kind of like fill them out. I'm trying to put out the best shit I can put out. I'm not trying to do 100 mixtapes and 100 albums and flood the market with some garbage ass music. I'm trying to drop some good hot shit. I'm trying to drop some classic shit. I'm trying to drop some chronic shit. I ain't trying to drop no bubblegum ass overnight flood the industry ass shit. I want to come with some classic timepieces. You know what I'm saying? Do it like how we used to do it.
You're not one of these overnight SoundCloud rappers that puts up a picture with 3 words on it and a song, and then next thing you know, he gets 5 likes and everything. He thinks he's a superstar. You're the real deal. You're going to take your time and make good quality music. You know what I'm saying?
Or a fucking artist put out an album. A fucking artist put out an album that got 20 songs on it, and only 1 or 2 of them is tight on there. No, I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, the rest is nonsense. The rest is swag or some bullshit like that. You know what I mean?
And the 2 good songs on the album is the radio songs.
Right. That's when you know it's garbage.
That's when you know it's garbage.
That's when you know it's garbage, when the radio songs are better than the other songs. Just one last thing to my advice to all young artists out there: stop making songs for the radio and make songs for the people, man. Yeah.
Fuck the radio. Make songs for the people. The people gonna get your shit played on the radio if it's hot.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta. I remember, Too Short even said back in the day, he would bring his music straight to the streets to let people hear it, get their opinion before he would even put it out himself. And that's what's lacking, man. Like you said, that hand-to-hand, that one-on-one contact with people where you can give them physical CDs or, even if it's business cards, whatever the fuck it is, you got to get out there and meet people. I went to the bus stop. I was pushing CDs, and this kid, he holds up the fucking iPod, and he's like, "No, man, I don't do that. I got this." It's like, fuck you, then. Is that from the 90s, the 80s? You know what I'm saying? I'll take this CD and kill you with it. But let's give him this Kingpin remix, man. Tell everybody what this song is.
Kingpin remix is off my second solo album, Kingpin: The 6-Year Theory. This is like I got all my Bay Area legends on there: Black Sea, Chunk, Equipto, Ballhead Rick and SB from UNLV. It's 11-5. Man, I got a little bit of everybody on this song. So
wow.
Yeah. So check me out, Kingpin remix, man. Classic. Produced by TC.
Yeah, that's what it is. We're going to get off into that, but I want to tell everybody one thing before we go. Make sure to tune in Wednesday. We got the Loonies. Same time, same place, UGSforlife.com. And then Friday we got the homie B-Style. He's going to be on the show. So don't go nowhere. We're going to be playing this song right now. Ad Kapone, Kingpin, you heard the legends. He said 11-5, all kinds of different people. And I want to thank you for coming on the show. RBL, who else?
Equipto, UNLV, Ballhead Rick and SB from UNLV, Chunk, legendary Chunk. I'm trying to think of everybody on the song. There's a lot of people on the song. I was trying to get Cole 187 on it, but he didn't get his. I was trying to get Cole 187 on it, but he didn't get his verse back to me in time.
Yeah, shout out to Cole 187. He's got some music coming out right now too. I just saw he did some with E40 too short. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got some stuff
he's working on. You know what I'm saying? Well, thanks again for coming on the show. We appreciate you, brother. We'll have you on in the future for sure. So stay in touch.
For sure. And as soon as I finish working on some new music, I'm sending it straight to you.
That's what it is. Man, much appreciation. This one's going in the history books, episode 264. Make sure, here in a couple weeks, we got another show I want to talk about real quick. Underground Saturday Nights with Mac J and Velvet Rose. Tell everybody about this, Mac J.
Well, you know, Prez, man, we gonna not even reinvent something, but we gonna have, you know what I'm saying, a laid back Saturday comedy atmosphere type of show that's interactive with the callers too. You know what I'm saying? So everybody just need to stay tuned. Once we finalize everything and we start posting out, we're gonna run this. And we gonna run this motherfucker hard too, Prince. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun doing this shit.
Yeah, most definitely. I look forward to listening to it myself. I'm a fan of it myself. Just had the other shows, you know, UGS Radio, the Fahrenheit Hour, Slaughter Hour, KFYB, Underground Classics. I even did the Mental Therapy Hour. I think we did one episode of that. That's all it lasted. But hell yeah, we look forward to that. So make sure to keep checking the website, ugsforlife.com. Underground Saturday Nights with Mac J and Velvet Rose. That's coming very soon. And like I said, this Wednesday we got the Loonies, Yuckmouth and Numbskull. They're going to be on the show. They're back again. You know what I'm saying? Last time they were on the show, you know what I'm saying, it was we had a blast. We're going to make sure we chop it up with them. And then Friday we got the homie B-Style. Make sure you check out the homie B-Style. He's got some dope music. He's also a dope producer. You know what I'm saying? You'll find out more about him Friday. And keep going to ugsforlife.com. You know what I'm saying? Keep fucking with us. We are that underground platform. You know what I'm saying? We are that murder dog of the audio airwaves. Shit, we are the Murder Master Music Show, man. We got our own history. You know what I'm saying? Check the archives. You know what I'm saying? Google us. You know what I'm saying? Check your favorite mainstream sites, which are not our favorite, but we happen to break through and land on them somehow. So shout out
and I'm just
shed light on us.
You might even hear me on other shows talking about the Murder Master Music Show or something. You never know, you know. So
you never know. You never know where you're gonna find the Murder Master Music Show.
Man, we got all the clips, and you know what I'm saying. You can catch all the shit. Hit the YouTube page, and don't forget to hit the donate either. Cheap motherfuckers.
Most definitely. yeah. A lot of you motherfuckers, you know, this is like PBS, man. If you want to keep seeing these shows or keep hearing these shows, go to the donation page and keep this motherfucker going because, you know what I'm saying, we're doing this shit out of the love of hip-hop. Comes out of our pockets, you know what I'm saying? So anything you can do, greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And if you yourself, you're an inspiring rap artist and you want to be in the legendary Murder Master Music Show archive, hit us up, Prez at ugsforlife.com or MacJ at ugsforlife.com. You can actually purchase your own indie artist slot right here in the Murder Master Music Show and be in one of the most legendary hip-hop archives of all times. You know what I'm saying? On the net, online, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have that big, major, $1 million budget that Vlad and the Breakfast Club and all these other sites have. We're doing this shit ourselves independently. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I'm cut from the cloth. A Murder Dog. Me and Mac J are both cut from the cloth of the 1970s, if that should tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you know what the fuck we came up off.
That's why I be telling people, Prez, like, this, you know, you ain't got like the new age hip hop or the mainstream shit that's out to still love hip hop. You ain't got to give up on this shit. I'm not giving up on it because I keep hearing good shit that's brand new. I might not hear it on the radio, but I don't listen to the regular fucking radio any goddamn way. So I'm not missing. You can't miss nothing that you ain't looking for. So if I'm not looking for that, then I'm not missing it if I'm not hearing it. But if I'm looking for some real shit, you can find it in the underground. You're gonna find a lot of that shit right here on the Murder Master Music Show.
Damn straight. We're gonna, without further